Good morning, good afternoon, and if you're coming home from a long day working the 9 to 5, hope it's a good night as we bring to you a BodySlam.net exclusive interview with the man they call Fancy Ryan Clancy. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great today. Another beautiful day. Excited for this interview. Excited to be here.
Hey, I love to hear it. All right, let's get this down to question one.
All right,
Um,
let's do it.
so it's been an exciting last couple of months for you, and I wanted to first break it down with the way you came into the business of professional wrestling. You
Sure.
spoke a few months ago on a podcast about the first time you entered the ring after you drove 3,000 miles to Calgary to begin your training. After 3 months of learning under the minds of Lance Storm and Damian Adams at the Wrestling Academy, what were the three biggest things you learned out there when you were picking the brains of your teachers?
So I like you mentioned, I started my wrestling journey with Lance Storm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Um, Straight out of high school, saved up my money, and I figured if I wanted to make a run at this, like anything else, I have to go to the best place possible. So, what better way to do that than train with the best people, whether it be hard at first or not? But my philosophy that I've lived my life on is that really the understanding that things are hard and they're hard until they become easy eventually. Everything just takes time. So, obviously, very difficult training, condition wise, mentally challenging when it comes to, competing too with other people there. There's like this friendly competition thing. We're all there for the same reason, but obviously, as with anything, we all are very passionate about it. So, tempers flare up sometimes and stuff like that. But it was probably the best experience I could have at 18, 19 years old because I was away from home. I was on my own, and just being in that environment with like minded individuals for the first time in my life was very, very rewarding. When it comes to the things that I probably learned the most, I mean, to be honest with you, I learned all the fundamentals of pro wrestling. Some of the things I still apply to this day, in every single match and every single chance I get in front of the fans. And I'm incredibly grateful for my whole experience in Calgary.
And what two people are learning under Damian Adams and Lance Storm. Lance Storm having all this experience in professional wrestling over the
Yeah,
last
so
years
with
of it.
with Damian too, that was more so after he's in New Jersey, Damian. So with Damian, that was something that kind of happened around COVID time. I not many places were running as much anymore, and I had moved back home over here, and I was looking obviously to get some ring time and keep my skills sharp. Um, and I had been made aware of Damian Adams School in Wharton, New Jersey, and I really felt like that time period of COVID with not much going on, and spending the time with guys like Steven Stetson, who say what you want about him, works very hard. Pedro Donez, Ray Jazz, um, just Antonio Zambrano, who was great when he used to wrestle. Just being around these like-minded individuals who are there and aren't afraid of giving each other feedback was something I definitely picked up with at Damien's when I was about probably 2 or 3 years into my career.
And with COVID, how did that affect you? Like, having to stay healthy, having to keep yourself going out, working out, staying with your cardio and, weightlifting. How did it affect you at first? And then as your journey went on throughout the year?
Yeah, so to be quite honest, I'm very blessed to have the community of people that I have in my life, right? I work alongside with the local gym um, near me called Gift Fitness, and during that time, my friends and mentors, uh, name is Juan Vargas and Preston Kowalczyk. They helped keep me accountable, and they actually allowed me to come into the gym, their semi-private gym with them while COVID was happening. Um, so just having relationships like that with people who share a similar vision to you, but also understand is I think incredibly important for anybody that's listening is to just kind of trust what's going on in your life and that feeling that you get inside and understand that there are people out there who have a similar experience to you and who think like you do and who are able to kind of help provide and keep you accountable in these situations.
You always need people there to keep your head afloat and to make sure that you're
Absolutely.
doing things that you need to be doing for your life. Next question. You grew up idolizing the same men that your grandfather and father looked up to, along with your favorites as the years went on. You're a growing technician who loves to incorporate the styles of the absolute best from all over the wrestling globe, such as Bruno Sammartino, Bret and Owen Hart, plus others. When you look back on your childhood and the years you spent watching and learning from the eyes of a very young Ryan Clancy, what are the three matches, no matter what year it was, that stuck out for you as a kid and made you want to recreate that magic that they made in the ring?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Two specifically came to my mind. One being Brett versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10, just because um, I had an older brother I have an older brother who's 7 years older than me, and just seeing the younger brother get his comeuppance on the older brother was definitely something that I was like, oh, okay, like this is awesome. I want to watch more of this. And just the style that those guys wrestle was very I was an amateur wrestler most of my life too, so it was very like I understood it. It was very similar to the things that I had experienced, and it made a connection with me as a kid. As I got a little bit older, right, I became more aware of you know kind of the older wrestling that I grew to love and feel like there's such little appreciation for, whether it be someone who doesn't really care to seek out this kind of wrestling and will just label it as boring or uninteresting because it's filmed in black and white doesn't make any difference. There's a specific match that I believe is on the Chicago Film Archive on YouTube if you look it up, and I believe it's Buddy Rogers and Luthez, and just the stuff that these guys do is so incredible. It could easily hold up on television today. And then another match, I guess, to round off the three, I would recommend people watch would be just for something like slightly different, but still, something that's in my taste would be Nick Bockwinkel versus Jumbo Tsuruta. I believe is from All Japan. Just because a lot of people are used to like the American going to Japan and it being a certain way, and just the things that Nick Bockwinkel was doing were very innovative and very unique. And you could tell, like, my favorite thing about wrestlers, people in general of any profession, anything that people love is when they're themselves. And I think you can always kind of tell when someone's not afraid to be themselves, and I think it's very admirable.
Nick was never afraid to be himself. He was always showing himself out and making sure people realized the talents that he had. Fun fact about Jumbo Serrata: back in 2017, I interviewed his youngest son for
Yeah,
Father's Day and wanted to learn more about his father. Got a bunch of good stories out of that, and it was always something that because I was very new to the scene of
yeah.
All Japan Pro Wrestling. So the more that I dove in and the more action I saw, I thought to myself, damn, I've been missing this for way too many years. And it's very important for wrestlers and fans to expand their mind.
Of
You
course,
all
it's
you
anybody.
always gotta watch anything, whether it's you're a filmmaker, whether you make music, whether you're a wrestler, an athlete, anything you do, you always gotta look back and see the history that you're trying to make with yourself that others have made for themselves.
Absolutely.
So the third question,
Mm.
um, you're a very built man, and of course,
Thank
I
you.
mean that as a massive compliment because the pose is clean, the way you handle yourself is proper, and I know you spoke about how in the last year you've gained 20 pounds of bulking up to feel and look the way that you do. You have the mindset that if you're going to say something, you better go and do it because you're the only person that can stop yourself from reaching for the sky and getting the dreams you want. My question is, how is the bulking going as of late, and what are the go-to meals that you prefer after a morning, afternoon, or late night session lifting and working on your cardio at the gym?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as of recent, I've actually been, starting on. I put on a lot of size over the last year, and as of maybe like the last 3 or 4 months, I've been trying to slowly shed off the fat that I had gained, so that way I could, feel a little bit better and not carry as much weight around. And I've been having enormous success. I truly believe I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life, and I think it shows. When it comes to what you mentioned about it's up to us. That's something that I try and teach my peers and my colleagues. And anybody who is open to listening, is that it's my belief that you have a choice in how you react and respond to things. And I think once you understand that these little habits, the seemingly smallest things that you do, are really what controls everything. It controls your entire outer world. I think once you make that connection, you realize, like, okay, I'm going to eat better. Wow, I'm actually feeling better, which means I can then be a better man or woman or whoever you are for the wonderful people that you have in your life. And I think that's really what it's all about, is just being a better you, so that you can then inspire other people to be their best self. I think there's one of my favorite quotes is, be so incredibly yourself that you inspire others to do the same. And I think through our modeling that we can show others what's truly, truly possible. Um, when it comes to the food, I eat pretty much the same thing every single day. But I really, like I said, with the choosing of things, right? I believe that it's a choice on what you want to enjoy, and it starts with your self talk. So like every morning, I eat 6 eggs and a cup of oats. I'll go to the gym. I'll work out. I'll come home. I'll drink a protein shake, and I'll have some chicken, some rice, some vegetables. I'll have another meal of pretty much the same thing later on in the day. Not really much snacking, just lots of, protein and vegetables. And right before bed, for the last probably 10 years that I've been lifting weights, every single night for the past 10 years, I have 2 cups of Oikos Greek yogurt every single night before I go to bed. So I think mostly it's just the understanding that things take time, and you have to just have faith in the process and trust that you're on the right path, because you'll feel it. Like, we all know when we're doing the right things and when we're not. We feel this pressure inside of us. We're all very aware. Nobody is stupid. We're all smart and wonderful in our own ways. So I think it's just kind of having the courage to listen to what we're actually telling ourselves, as opposed to being comfortable, if that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense. You always have to believe yourself. Some people say you have to believe your own bullshit in a way, but not in a way of the bullshit as a bad way. It's more so like you're gonna constantly feed yourself these thoughts where you're thinking to yourself, like, what can I do to be better? What can I do to make myself happier? And you're not doing it for others. You're doing it for your own self-fulfillment, your own self-happiness, so that you can wake up every day and feel better. And from the looks of it, you wake up every day, you feel better, you work out, you read books, you focus on what you have to do. It's like the interview I recently saw with Hugh Jackman after
Mm,
he did the Deadpool 3 film. He was
sure.
talking about how he had to get back in shape and work on himself even after the writer's strike. He was eating tilapia and beans every single day. And with the way you're describing things, eating chicken and which kind of chicken? Like boiled chicken?
Grilled, I don't think things need to taste. We don't need to go too to the extremes. Everything should be easy and enjoyable, but you don't have to. You don't have to kill yourselves when it comes to that kind of stuff too. Because, yeah, as long as you're eating like lean protein and vegetables, I think you're on the right path.
What are your go-to vegetables? What's your favorite vegetable and what's your least favorite?
I'm big on greens, so like I like spinach, I like broccoli, I'll eat green beans, but probably like probably spinach. I actually really enjoy eating spinach. I know that's not a popular choice, but
Spinach is amazing. Same with broccoli. All the greens are good.
I
Even
agree.
green beans. I just had green beans last night, and I was like, man, I could eat like a whole bowl of these. Um, Next question.
Yes,
A
sir.
couple of years ago, you fought Powerhouse Hobbs on an episode of AEW Dark Elevation. And
Yeah.
about 2 months later, you got the chance to appear on Friday Night SmackDown,
Hmm.
an achievement that even had Dominic Mysterio in your comment sections giving you a round of applause for the opportunity. I know there are a lot of wrestlers who will ask a lot of questions to veterans or other professional wrestlers they are around, and so I wanted to ask you this. Were there any wrestlers backstage at AEW and WWE whom you reached out to in regards to advice on the future of your wrestling career or anything that you had been curious about?
Yeah, that's a great question. When it comes to Dominic, he actually trained with me up at Lance Storm School. We were in the same class, so we're rather close. We have a connection there, and he's been doing amazing, amazing things over this last few years. Like, he should be incredibly proud of himself and how far he's come, and just different kind of path that he's had than me, that he's had to overcome a lot of different obstacles himself with, what people say about him, being Rey Mysterio's son and stuff like that, thinking that, this guy's going to be just given opportunities. And I'm the first person to say he's worked his ass off for every single thing that he's gotten, and he deserves it all. Um, when it comes to people that I've gotten advice from in the back, right? Like in the locker rooms, and that I've had interaction with, I think you can learn something from anybody. I think that I've been blessed enough to have been around so many amazing individuals that have come before me, that just taking a little piece from each and every one of them, whatever it may be, um, has really helped go a long way. Like these small increments, and one, like just being aware of what people are telling you. Um, and I think that, like, I really want to stress that belief that you should have in yourself, because you have to be able to understand where some people are coming from too, and not take things personally, because I know a lot of people will, get feedback from veterans, or get feedback from their peers, and be like, no, 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 that's not it, and they'll immediately shut it down. But myself, I'm not like most people, and I will be willing to hear almost anybody out. So when the feedback comes, I just listen, and I absorb what I can, and if I don't agree with it, then that's okay too. But there's no hard feelings ever. So I've been very lucky to have a lot of great people, offer their advice up to me, and it's definitely helped me get this far.
And I love to hear that. A couple of months ago, you did a while back. You had a match with Zack Sabre Jr. Really
Yeah,
big learning
last
experience
February.
for you
Yeah,
last February.
yes, sir.
Um, After the match, when you two talked, if you did he give you any advice on something that you can take and learn for the future?
Yeah, for sure. He was just very complimentary of me, and just staying consistent, and something that he's helped me with personally as well. Is just expanding my reach, and not being afraid to start over somewhere else, and go to these new places, and make myself uncomfortable, because in doing so, right, like there's so many wonderful things on the other side of fear, and when you're able to overcome that fear and identify it as excitement instead of fear, you're able to reap incredible benefits from it. So Zach has been amazing for me. I mean, he's one of the main reasons I was able to travel to Germany for WXW on 16 Carat weekend this past year, and meet a lot of wonderful people over there, and great fans that um, definitely enjoyed my work, and were very, very loving and accepting of me when I came over there. So I'm just so grateful for all the opportunities I've been given. It's very, very, I'm very lucky. I always seem to be in the right place at the right time.
Right place, right time, right opportunities. It's always the best thing they look forward to. And learning from minds like Zack Sabre Jr. and so many other wrestlers. There's one man that you faced a couple of months ago,
Mm.
about 2 months ago, actually. You got the opportunity to step in the ring with Austin Luke, a
Oh,
man that I have spoken to in the past before and got to understand more about what he is about. You waited for the opportunity, it came knocking at your door, and you two tested each other of how badly you wanted that win, how badly you wanted to walk out of that ring with your upper hand. How was that experience for you? And did you get to talk to him after? Did you get to talk to him after the match about it or anything related to professional wrestling?
Austin, that is, right?
Yes, Austin Luke.
Yeah, yeah. So I've known Austin for a few years now, just based off of different travels and meeting each other different places and stuff like that. And I always thought that there was something there, and that he was very technically gifted like myself. So when the opportunity came that I was able to get in the ring with him, I jumped at the chance, because how do you get better unless you wrestle people who are just as passionate and just as loving for this sport like you are? So when it comes to Austin, I mean, like, I feel like he's done a really good job over the last few months as well, staying consistent, and adding some size. And I look forward to getting in the ring with him again. He's phenomenal at what he does. He's honestly very, very, very good.
Very talented, very good. Such as yourself.
Thank
You
you.
two, I believe, are in the same age gap as well, I believe, like 25, 26, somewhere around
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I believe
So
so.
it's always good to learn from people your own age. Some people who deal with a doubt in their head, some people who might be a little over themselves. We all have to have that ego. We all have to feel that we belong somewhere. And so when you ask people and see the motivation they have, or maybe see some of the doubt they have, it's good to talk it out, and it's good to understand more deeper into what they're thinking. No? Um, so let's talk about one of the coolest things you got to do recently, and that was appear as one of the wrestlers in the music video for Juna by Clairo at Wrestling Open. The
Yeah.
song is a bop. You got to kick some ass, and the whole thing has been such a funny experience and success for everybody involved. Did anybody beforehand tell you that she was coming by to shoot the music video that day, or did you arrive and see everything being set up? Take us through the process of how everything came all together for it.
So yeah, I was made aware that the music video was getting shot that day, about a week or two in advance when we all found out. Essentially, what happened was some wonderful fans of Wrestling Open that come almost every week. Their names are Justin and Amanda. They filmed a TikTok to some trend. I'm not really on TikTok that much. Um, of me and Brad Baylor wrestling on Wrestling Open, and they used one of Clairo's songs. And Clairo saw it and got in contact with Beyond Wrestling and said she was interested in coming and shooting a music video. So, everything just kind of snowballed from there, and it was such an enjoyable experience. And just being around her and who's incredibly beautiful and talented and gifted in her own right, that um, her being able to see my strength and be appreciative of what I do um, was very satisfying, very fulfilling. And by the end of it, I definitely found myself quite fond of Claire. So if she winds up listening to this somehow, she knows where to find me.
Shooting his shot over here like a Kobe Bryant. It's a good thing. When it was shooting and everything, how easy was the process? Like shooting the music video, having to be in the ring, doing your
Yeah.
thing, being comfortable and confident. How did it feel?
Yeah, so something that I do very well, like I mentioned earlier, is I'm not afraid to be me ever. And I think that's when the most blessings come your way and most opportunities come your way, is when you're just so comfortable with being yourself at all times. We had the top of the top production people and the directors and producers of the music video, Bradley and Will. They were so welcoming when it came to all of us, and very the directing of everything was very fluid, so easy to do everything. Everybody knew exactly what their direction was, and it was just really truly like it didn't even feel like work. We shot probably from 11:30, 12 in the afternoon to maybe 6:30 at night. Then we had, the actual event of Wrestling Open that week where they shot some stuff, and then we had a dark match to finish off for the music video. So it was definitely a long day, but when you enjoy what you do, nothing ever feels like work. That's very, old adage, but it's definitely very true.
It was a fulfilling experience. You got to be out there,
Absolutely.
you got to enjoy some good music, be around good peers of your own, and shoot a music video. This was your first time ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, first time shooting a music video for sure, and definitely very unexpected, which is, as most things come, you can't really have expectations because when you expect things, they usually don't happen. So when you're just living your life with joy and love and happiness, then wonderful things happen every single day. So this is just another notch in the belt on the multitude of things that I'm open to happening and see happening for me and everybody else.
My next question for you. Another thing you mentioned in your post about the music video is that your fancy T-shirt, which was worn by Clara herself,
Yeah,
will have 100% of the proceeds donated to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
yeah,
It's something beautiful that we all love to see because it helps the mission that the foundation has provided, which is to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide. How did
yes.
this come together, And if you're able to open up about it, how important was it for you to pick the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention?
Yeah, so something that I do in my personal life outside of wrestling. I mean, it's kind of in the same vein as I like to give back whenever I can and do some philanthropy work, whether it be in coaching and teaching and with my partners at Gift Fitness, like I mentioned earlier. We'll go into schools in New York City and talk to kids and give up some of our life experience and inspire. When it came to the T-shirt, it was Claire's choice to wear the shirt. I didn't even know she had it on until later on into the night. Like I don't know how she got it at first. So just her doing that, I'm incredibly grateful for. And the way I view this is that because she wore the shirt is why I'm selling the T-shirts. It's not because of me. So in my mind, it's not my money, and I already have a very abundant life. I have everything that I need. So if I'm able to, give a small piece of that away to people who most likely need it more than I do, and to raise awareness for something that is very serious and somewhat of an epidemic in the world when it comes to mental health and whether that be anybody, any walk of life. I think that because she wore that shirt and I'm receiving profit from it, it's not my money. And if I can do anything to give all of that away, I will. I think it's important that a lot of people try their best to not have any self-importance, because the whole reason why I wrestle is to show people what's possible, to inspire other people. And I think that in something very small like this, that we can hopefully change some lives, and whatever small impact anybody can make, it makes a true difference. So when I'm able to provide a huge impact, I've been influxed and overwhelmed with the number of t-shirt sales since Clairo wore it. um, I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm willing to give it all away. It'll find me in other ways.
A good man with a good soul and a good mindset. You have it all, Fancy Ryan Clancy, he just has everything about him.
Thank you.
Before I do send you off,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you again for this wonderful interview. Which shows are you set to compete in next, and what are the socials so everybody watching knows where they can find Fancy Ryan Clancy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm at Wrestling Open every Thursday at 8 p.m. It's on IWTV. You can catch it live every single Thursday. We've been there for the past, I believe it's 137 weeks now. Um, Myself and along with a lot of the other wrestlers there have been there since the beginning, and we've really put our all into building it into what it's been the last few months and last few years. That I think it's very important that people check it out, because it's a very special group of guys and girls that are there working their ass off every week. This Saturday, tomorrow, as we're filming, I will be at Beyond Wrestling, which is partner company with Wrestling Open, and we're running at the Worcester Palladium, which is a legendary concert venue. It's on 5 days' notice, and we're running the indoors of the building, so it's a huge deal. I believe we're looking at it to be the largest indoor event in Beyond Wrestling history, which is considerable um, metrics compared to the people that have been there in the past, that are now contracted to television companies and stuff like that. So that's where you can find me this week and this weekend. I have an NFW title match in New Jersey against TJ Crawford and Alec Price next Friday. It's just I'm so grateful for the opportunities I've been afforded, because every day it's something new. And if I can leave people with one thing, it's really that whatever we believe, whatever thought that we choose to feed into, we really become that. And it's just having the utmost trust in yourself, that if you just trust the process and do the right things at all times, you will be generously rewarded in more ways than you could have ever imagined. So I'm very grateful for all the opportunities I have upcoming. Everybody can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Fancy Ryan Clancy. I'm on Cameo as well if you want some motivational words or some tips and stuff like that. You can buy the t-shirt that I will be donating the proceeds to charity at prowrestlingtees.com/Fancy Ryan Clancy. And I'd also like to add in there, please, guys, like, it's been about 6 days since the music video for Juna dropped, and my life has been completely changed already from Claire and her team, just for the spotlight that they gave me in the music video, and gave a lot of us at Wrestling Open. It has truly changed my life. And if you guys could, support Claire in any way, check out her tour that she's doing of the U.S. I believe she has some European dates. I'm not really too keen on what's going on there, but I believe it's Clairo.com. If you can check that out, find her at a show near you. Tell her Fancy Ryan Clancy sent you. Watch the music video on YouTube. Do whatever you can to support her, because she's an incredible human being, and I'm very grateful for her and her team and everything they've done for me and a lot of other people.
This has been an amazing interview. I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your day to allow this to happen.
Absolutely.
Hopefully more people view the music video. Hopefully it breaks records. Hopefully the shirt sells so much more. And good things keep continuing to happen for you and everybody at Wrestling Open, because that's all we want for everybody in the wrestling industry. All the good deserves to be happening for the good people. And so thank you very much for today. You can find BodySlam socials on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere at bodyslam.net. You can find my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and anywhere that there is social media at Who Else But Rami. Thank you so much for watching this bodyslam.net exclusive interview with the one and only Fancy Ryan Clancy. Hopefully everyone has a great morning, great afternoon, and a great night as you watch this. And hopefully there's more interviews to come in the future. Once again, thank you so much, Ryan. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great weekend, and your future is set in gold. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. I appreciate it. Thank you.